Not everyone can make it to the main event level in professional wrestling. It takes years of hard work and determination to become a wrestling superstar. However, even after grinding the hours, traveling the towns, you may never make it past the lower card status. Just because you didn't make it to the top of the mountain doesn't mean you're a bad wrestler. In fact, if everyone was a main eventer, there wouldn't be a full show. You need all kinds of talent to create a full roster and fill up the various TV times that companies may have. Some call these people journeymen, enhancement talent, but we're going to call them unsung heroes. They may have not made it to the main event, but they don't deserve to be forgotten. You can't talk about unsung heroes if you don't start at probably the most important and most popular enhancement talent, Barry Horowitz. Most people probably remember Barry Horowitz as the guy with the losing streak and the man known for patting himself on the back. The story goes much deeper than that though. When he came to the WWF in 1987, Barry showed up wearing suspenders and a vest, an outline of a handprint on his back, which he patted himself on the back as a self-congratulatory measure. He spent 3 years in the WWF as an enhancement talent in his first run. An enhancement talent's job was to put over the other wrestlers and to make them look good. During the late 80s and mid 90s, the WWF would use so many different wrestlers as enhancement talent. Unlike a lot of them, Barry was in great shape. He was a fantastic wrestler, and he made everyone he got in the ring with look better. Barry Horowitz was perhaps too good at being an enhancement talent that he got typecast as a jobber. In 1988, he had 15 singles victories, and he finished an initial WWF run, registering 14 victories in 1989, including a pin over a young Ken Shamrock on July 29th. Barry's final match was a loss to Mark Young in Waco, Texas on April 2nd, 1990, after which he departed the WWF for World Championship Wrestling. When he went to WCW in 1990, he would wrestle over 50 matches and only pick up one victory. He would even have a pay-per-view dark match at Halloween Havoc 1990, losing to Tim Horner. He would have his last WCW match on December 7th, 1990 at a house show. Horowitz then traveled to Texas, where he worked with a newly formed Global Wrestling Federation. Competing in the light heavyweight division, Horowitz, now billed as Barry the Winner Horowitz, won the GWF Light Heavyweight Championship on 2 occasions within the space of a month in 1992. He remained in the GWF for 2 years until it declared bankruptcy. While in the GWF, he returned to the WWF in 1991. He was once again used to put talent over. His first match back came in October 21st of 1991 at a WWF Superstars taping in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He teamed with Brian Costello and faced the Bushwhackers. For the remainder of 91, Horowitz only appeared on televised events and came out on a losing end in many different matches against the likes of Legion of Doom, Greg Valentine, and the then Intercontinental Champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. This continued through the first half of 1992, where he'd face off against Kerry Von Erich, Owen Hart, Tito Santana, and others on WWF Superstars and the WWF Challenge tapings. He had a more prominent role in the WWF on his second run. He was being used to help get over the mid to upper card superstars, and this was a decent spot for him to be put in. He would get regular work on television and get paid good money to do so. He took pride in making other wrestlers look like $1 million. In June of 1992, he would join the house show loop. He'd only pick up one victory that year. On July 5th, 1993, he gained his second victory, defeating Phil Apollo at a Monday Night Raw dark match. Despite his status as an enhancement talent, Horowitz would occasionally wrestle matches of greater importance. He was instrumental in starting the feud between the reigning tag champions, the Quebecers, and the 1-2-3 Kid. The Quebecers were set to defend their titles against Horowitz and Riggins, but Horowitz brought in the Kid as a last-minute replacement partner. Though the Quebecers prevailed in the match, the Kid would continue to challenge for the tag team titles without Barry Horowitz. Horowitz would return to teaming with Riggins during the 1994 and and faced the Smoking Guns and Men on a Mission on multiple occasions. Despite numerous defeats, Horowitz would gain 2 victories in '94 by beating Ben Jordan and Mark Thomas. He also faced Bob Holly in his first WWF match. In 1995, Horowitz entered still as an enhancement talent and lost to Chris Candido in the soon-to-be Body Donna Skip's first match. However, Body Donna Skip was a catalyst for a career turnaround that summer. Horowitz was scheduled to begin picking up, and he wrestled Henry Godwin, Mantar, Shawn Michaels, and others. And on Monday Night Raw on March 13, 1995, he received a shot at Jeff Jarrett's Intercontinental Championship. It was a pretty competitive match, but Horowitz lost to the Figure 4 leg lock from Jeff Jarrett. On May 25, 1995, he began a house show series with Skip of the Bonnie Donnas, losing 7 times. Finally, on July 9, 1995, on the Wrestling Challenge, Horowitz received his first push of his WWE career, beginning with pinning Body Donna Skip to gain his first WWF victory on television, leading to commentator Jim Ross shouting, Horowitz faced Skip on the August 5th episode of Superstars after Bonnie Donna said that Horowitz could not last 10 minutes in a match. Horowitz avoided pinfall for 10 minutes, leading to a third televised match at SummerSlam 1995. Horowitz won this encounter, gaining his very first pay-per-view victory ever. These victories ultimately led to Horowitz being a popular underdog with the WWE fans. Horowitz would enter a short program with Hakushi, whom he attempted to Americanize. They showed a series of videos and promos of Horowitz describing American culture and institutions to Hakushi. He ended up beating Hakushi in an upset victory. At the 1995 Survivor Series, they teamed with Bob Holly and Marty Jannetty in a loss to Skip, Rad Radford, Tom Pritchard, and the 1-2-3 Kid. A month later, at In Your House 5, Horowitz teamed with Hakushi and the Smoking Guns to defeat the Body Donnas, Yokozuna, and Isaac Yankem in a dark match at the pay-per-view. He closed out the year teaming frequently with Fatu and Hakushi and coming out victorious over Skip, Kama, and Yankem on the house show circuit. Horowitz did appear in the 1996 Royal Rumble match, entering number 25 when he was quickly eliminated by Owen Hart. Despite his elevation in the roster, Horowitz quickly returned to a losing streak, being defeated by Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, Duke the Dumpster Droese, and Savio Vega in January and February. He entered another losing streak that would not end until May 28th, when he upset Owen Hart after the referee reversed the decision. Horowitz would then go on another losing streak, falling to Farouk, Goldust, and Salvatore Sincere. His final television match came on April 7, 1997, when he teamed with Freddie Joe Floyd against the Headbangers on Monday Night Raw. His last match would be against Freddie Joe Floyd on April 12, 1997. He would return to WCW in October of 1997. He would sign a 2-year contract and wrestled primarily on WCW Saturday Night, but he also did the house show loop. He sustained losses to Disco Inferno, Wrath, Chris Adams, Alex Wright, Vincent, and many others during 1998. He was also a part of Goldberg's undefeated streak, losing to him on January 10, 1998 on WCW Saturday Night, and later on May 27, 1998 on WCW Thunder, where he had his first and only shot at the WCW United States Championship. In early 2000, he began his first feud in WCW after losing to Alan Funk in the March 11th edition of WCW Saturday Night. Funk defeated Horowitz using a handful of tights. A week later on Saturday night during a match, Horowitz came out to the ring and distracted Funk. Horowitz's final WCW appearance came at the last ever WCW Saturday Night taping on March 29, 2000 in Beaumont, Texas. He faced Jim Duggan and was defeated after Alan Funk came out and interfered. He then left WCW in 2000 and returned to the independent circuit. As of June 2005, Horowitz was working as a nutritionist in Florida while occasionally wrestling for local independent promotions. In 2013, he had what appeared to be his last match, the DWI 4th Annual Malenko Memorial Cup in Riverview, Florida on June 30th. He defeated Kennedy Kendrick and then went on to win the Memorial Malenko Cup Battle Royale in the main event. At this time, Barry is currently done wrestling, but he said he really wants to help out the WWE and the Performance Center and help train future superstars. He has a lot of knowledge to pass on, and he even believes he could be the head trainer. He also thinks that there should be an enhancement talent wing in the WWE Hall of Fame. Barry Horowitz is proof that you don't need to be a main eventer to make a living in professional wrestling. Unlike a lot of enhancement guys, Barry Horowitz took the business very serious. He made sure that he stayed in shape, never used drugs or alcohol, and best of all, he was really good at his job. He played an important role in helping getting future superstars over on television. Not only could he go out there and have a 2-minute house show match, but he could have a 15-minute TV match with Bret Hart. He may not have been the world champion, but he was a lovable loser who embraced his role and was able to earn a paycheck doing so. Even to this day, people still pat themselves on the back in honor of Barry Horowitz. Barry Horowitz was a way better wrestler than most people remember, and he's a true unsung hero in the sport of professional wrestling.